The hidden dangers of smart devices in your home. 1. Alexa, how did we get here? At dawn on a suburban street in Ohio, a doorbell camera captured a fox trotting past the tulips. 10 minutes later, a hacker in São Paulo watched the same clip, chuckled, and pivoted the Ring unit inward to scan the family's hallway. He did it with a 30-line Python script lifted from a Telegram channel. The homeowners never knew, until the Federal Trade Commission announced a multi-million-dollar privacy settlement with the company, after investigators found that both employees and intruders had routinely spied on customers. That episode is only one shard of a larger, shinier, more dangerous mosaic. By 2025, the average Western household hosts more than 40 internet-connected devices. Thermostats, TVs, fridges, door locks, baby monitors, and motion-sensing light bulbs, all whispering to faraway servers every second of the day. Consumers celebrate the convenience and, in surveys, confess they have no idea what the gadgets are actually doing. What they are doing, as a growing stack of incident reports shows, is exposing their owners to surveillance, extortion, disinformation, data broker profiling, and even physical harm. 2.1. Abandonware and the zombie device. When a major vendor recently ended support for a first-generation smart thermostat, security researchers warned that millions of orphaned units would linger on Wi-Fi networks without patches, perfect beachheads for botnets or crypto miners. Journalists quickly saw the bigger pattern. Coffee machines, smart scales, and even connected toasters become zombies once suppliers move on. Government cybersecurity centers now count hundreds of thousands of such hijacked devices exfiltrating data or launching spam from unsuspecting kitchens. 2.2. Always-on eavesdropping. The microphone that obeys your good-night routine also captures quarrels, medical calls, and bedtime gossip. Data that can be subpoenaed, leaked, or simply combed for marketing insight. Company insiders admit that contractors sometimes listen to raw recordings to improve voice models. Laptop-class adversaries don't need insider credentials. They deploy ultrasonic dolphin attacks, inaudible to humans, to trigger commands and unlock doors from outside a window. 2.3. Cloud dependency and the dead home problem. Pull the internet and many smart homes grow dumb. During recent wildfire-related blackouts in California, homeowners discovered their connected locks wouldn't open because the remote key server timed out. A new cross-brand protocol called Matter advertises local fallback, but independent testers find that major brands still route sensitive functions through the public cloud. 2.4. Data exhaust and surveillance capitalism. Each light flick, fridge door, or lullaby stream becomes a behavioral metric auctioned to data brokers. Researchers have logged more than 100 unique destinations a day for a single smart TV, including ad networks cross-matching viewing habits with credit card data. Your living room lamp can be a snitch in the legal sense as well. Police departments have subpoenaed smart bulb brightness logs to verify alibi timestamps. 3. Anatomy of an attack, from light bulb to lateral movement. In a still classified breach at an energy company, attackers stole turbine blueprints because an employee installed a discounted smart bulb in a break room lamp. Security teams later showed how the bulb could be forced into an older, vulnerable firmware, then used to pivot into the corporate network through its bridge device. Once inside, the intruders scanned for unpatched Windows hosts and quietly siphoned data. No phishing email required. The same principle jeopardizes homes. Consumer routers rarely segment IoT traffic. Compromise the baby monitor and you're 3 hops from tax documents on a laptop. Analysts now record double-digit IoT-originated attacks per household per day. Owners who would never click a suspicious link are nonetheless vulnerable because their kettles accepted one on their behalf. 4. When smart becomes scary. Harassment, stalking, coercive control. Domestic violence hotlines now train staff on Wi-Fi settings. Survivors report abusers remote triggering thermostats to deprive children of sleep, blasting music at 3 a.m., or unlocking doors for surprise visits, all while appearing miles away. Safety advocates urge manufacturers to bake in single-click breakup modes that purge shared credentials, yet only a minority of vendors comply. Another layer, employer surveillance. In wealthy capitals, live-in nannies wear location-tracking smartwatches mandated by the household. Static alerts send reprimands if the maid lingers too long in the bathroom. Workers describe chronic anxiety and loss of bodily autonomy. 5 side channels and the science fiction frontier. Behind locked doors, your appliances still betray you through physics. University teams have proved they can map room layouts by measuring subtle fluctuations in smart speaker ultrasound during voice prompts. Others harvest electromagnetic emissions from supposedly dormant sensors to infer household routines. Neither exploit target software. They weaponize the ambient chatter of silicon itself, which no patch can fully silence. 6. The standards mirage. Will Matter actually matter? Matter, the alliance of Apple, Google, Amazon, Samsung, and hundreds of vendors, promises encrypted, local, interoperable bliss. Security auditors concede the spec is stronger than the previous Wild West of proprietary APIs, but certification covers the radio stack, not business logic. A Matter-certified door lock may still phone telemetry home every minute, or forward admin tokens in clear text to the vendor's analytics endpoint. The protocol also cannot compel longevity. Nothing stops a company from shipping version 1, winning the marketing halo, then sunsetting its cloud 2 years later. Until right to repair and minimum support legislation gain teeth, Matter risks becoming another sticker on the box rather than a bulwark for the buyer. Each smart upgrade shortens the useful life of perfectly functional objects. When manufacturers disable servers, entire product lines become inert plastic overnight. Analysts estimate that dozens of millions of smart displays will head to landfills within the decade purely due to cloud deprecation. The embodied carbon in those Wi-Fi chipsets rivals the annual emissions of a mid-sized city. 8. Children, consent, and the data trajectory to 2075. A teddy bear that reads bedtime stories also records squeals and secrets, uploading them to a company that may sell its database tomorrow. Under existing law, firms must delete children's data upon request, yet enforcement remains rare. Industry lobbyists argue for contextual advertising exemptions, effectively turning nurseries into first-party analytics labs. Imagine the profile fidelity when today's 4-year-old applies for college in 2039 and an algorithm knows her REM cycles, snack patterns, and childhood anxieties. 9. Defending the fortress of things. 9.1 Network hygiene for mortals. Segregate IoT on a guest network or standalone router. Randomize device names. Fridge Kitchen 2021 tells attackers what bounty awaits. Disable UPnP and WPS, the two-headed gateway drug for botnets. 9.2 Firmware vigilance. Check your vendor's end-of-support page before purchase. Treat short windows as red flags. Where possible, flash open-source alternatives like Tasmota for ESP-based gadgets, accepting the trade-off that you, not a Silicon Valley help desk, become tech support. 9.3 Privacy. Operational security. Opt out of cloud wherever local control is an option. Many robot vacuums work in restricted mode with mapping upload toggled off. Voice assistants can be muted or replaced with on-premises models such as Raspi. For domestic abuse safeguards. If leaving an unsafe partner, factory reset every shared device or create a fresh home network at a new location before reconnecting. Check for rogue routines that trigger at odd hours and give shelters the MAC addresses of suspect gadgets. Some now scan for them. Policy. From buyer beware to maker responsible. New laws in the United Kingdom mandate unique passwords and security update transparency for consumer IoT. The European Union's forthcoming Cyber Resilience Act goes further, imposing revenue-based fines on vendors that ship unreasonably vulnerable products. The United States lags, relying on voluntary labels that critics deride as toothless. Until Washington ties compliance to import approvals, cheap cameras with default admin logins will keep flooding dollar stores. Regulators must also confront the surveillance capitalism layer. A ban on selling smart home telemetry to third parties would align incentives. Companies would earn by delighting users, not by stockpiling our circadian rhythms. 11. A glimpse of the next attack surface. Edge AI chips mean future bulbs will not only respond to commands, but classify gestures in the room. Smart meters will guess which TV channel you watch by analyzing electricity spikes. As generative AI synthesizes convincing voice clones, the command "open the garage" may emanate from your teenager's bedroom, but sound exactly like you. In that world, authentication shifts from voice print to cryptographic handshake, unless standards stall again. Meanwhile, researchers are toying with acoustic countermeasures, ultrasonic wallpaper patterns that confuse always listening mics, or millimeter wave fog that blinds Wi-Fi sensing. The arms race between privacy tech and commercial sensing is poised to become the decade's equivalent of ad blockers versus trackers, a cat-and-mouse match waged literally inside our homes. Smart devices deliver genuine magic. Grandparents appear on kitchen screens, HVAC bills shrink, morning lights sync with circadian biology. But each internet-enabled hinge hides a contract we seldom read, one that mortgages solitude, autonomy, and sometimes safety. The hidden dangers are not a sensational subplot. They are the logical outcome of design choices that prioritize growth over guardianship. You do not need to live in a stone hut. You do need to ask questions before the next glossy launch. Will the gadget work when the vendor goes bankrupt? Does it leak metadata to a hedge fund-run broker? Can a vindictive ex weaponize it? If the answers are vague, remember the doorbell fox. Somewhere, someone is always watching. The only variable is whether you invited them.